So what happened to Courtney? Anaphylaxis happened to Courtney. According to Wikipedia, anaphylaxis is a severe, rapid, multi-system allergic reaction to foods. And according to the Food Allergy and Anaphylaxis Network, leads to 30,000 emergency room visits and as many as 200 deaths every year. So what is the worst symptom of these allergic reactions? The fact that in a lot of people, the airways close off, and then they can't breathe, there's no oxygen to the brain, they pass out, and without immediate emergency care, they may well die. So let's go back to the video now. Oh, here.
The food allergic reaction you just saw was specific to nuts. There are many other allergens, and deaths from food allergies take place between 150 and 200 times each year. So as you can see, being aware of food allergies is serious business. For those who have them, going out to eat at a restaurant can literally mean the difference between life and death. 4% of Americans have some type of food allergy. That means that 1 in every 25 people in this country is allergic to 1 or more food allergens. An average restaurant seats more than 50 at a time, of which 2 may have allergies. Most restaurants have multiple seatings, so on any given night, 200 people may pass through the door. That's 8 potential allergy incidents in every restaurant in America every evening. There is no cure for food allergies. For those who have them, the only treatment is strict avoidance of the offending food. 90% of all food allergies in the U.S. come from one of these 8 groups: milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, peanuts, soybeans, tree nuts, or wheat. This group is called the Big 8. As you have seen, it doesn't take a whole lot of one of these foods to trigger a reaction. When one of these foods is consumed by a person who is allergic, the body may respond immediately. The skin may begin to swell and itch as the person breaks out into hives. Next, the throat may close up. Eventually, the person could pass out as swelling in the throat cuts off oxygen to the brain. For the most of us, food allergies are the last thing we think about during a busy shift. So how do we keep our customers from getting sick? Well, it's really quite simple. The process starts at the table with the guest and the server. Hello.
Hi.
My name's April and I'll be your waitress tonight. Before we get started, do you have any food allergies?
As a matter of fact, I do, and I noticed your sticker here about food allergies. I'm really glad you have that. I'm allergic to peanuts.
Oh, okay, then we'll stay away from the special tonight because the noodles has sauce that have peanuts in it. While still at the table, the server may suggest non-risky foods for the guest to enjoy. If you do not know what is in a dish or whether or not a dish can be made without an allergen, don't be ashamed to tell your guest. May I recommend one of our signature dishes, perhaps the chicken?
Well, the chicken sounded good too, but I really had my heart set on the noodles. Is it possible to get it without the nuts?
I'm not sure, but I can check on that. I'll go talk to the cooks and I'll be right back.
Great,
Okay.
great, thanks.
After leaving the table, the server must inform the manager of the food allergy. The guest at table 10 is allergic to peanuts. The next step is to tell the cooks who prepare the special dish. It is recommended that the manager be involved from this point forward. Chef Daniel, I have a man in my section who's allergic to peanuts and he wants the special. Do you think it's possible for us to make that without peanuts?
No problem.
Okay, great. At this point, the meal ticket should be marked or flagged to remind cooks that the dish is for a person with a food allergy.
That's right, April. And as the cooks, we are the first line of defense when it comes to helping our guests with food allergies enjoy their meal. There are 2 common ways that allergens end up in dishes and cause reactions. The first is through the addition of hidden food allergens. The second is through cross-contact. Since allergens are not always clearly labeled in pre-made foods, it can be impossible to identify them if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. Wheat, which is one of the Big 8, can be found in soy sauce and taco sauce, just to name 2. Unfortunately, in labeling, wheat can be listed a number of ways, including gluten, semolina, and modified food starch. It is important to realize that each of the Big 8 has a number of derivatives. Fortunately, by 2006, the law will require all food labels to say in plain English whether or not a product contains one of the Big 8. Another way that hidden food allergens can end up in a dish is through cross-contact. Cross-contact occurs when the proteins from different foods mix. Through cross-contact, food allergens can easily end up where you don't want them, hidden on an allergic individual's plate. Food allergens aren't like germs. Heat won't destroy them. That's why when you cook, you have to keep close tabs on anything that might contaminate other foods. When steaming, know that a basket filled with clams will contaminate vegetables stacked over it. When frying, proteins in different types of foods can remain in the oil even after the food has been removed. When baking, nuts that are sprinkled on top of one muffin can easily contaminate the one next to it. Vegetables boiled in the same pot of water as fish will carry on the fish protein. Remember that a grill brush will not remove food allergens from the grill surface. Instead of the grill, use an alternate cooking method in a clean pan. When garnishing, use fresh ingredients from your supply and avoid hands touching allergen and then non-allergen ingredients. If you don't want to make people sick, try designating equipment for use only with certain foods. If you cannot designate equipment, avoid cross-contact by thoroughly washing cooking areas, cutting boards and utensils with soap and water and sanitizing them between uses. Merely brushing pots and pans with water does not get rid of the allergens. Soaking in vinegar and water or lime juice and then rinsing is not enough either. Use clean utensils for every other separate ingredient or food you make. If a mistake is made, make a new order from scratch. As we saw earlier, simply removing the allergen may put your guest in the back of an ambulance. And always wash your hands or put on a new set of gloves before you prepare an allergen-free meal.
Chef, is my special order ready? No peanuts, right? Once you're sure the correct meal has been made, place it on a clean tray, separate from other dishes, to avoid possible contact from other foods on the way to the table.
Even though this video was geared towards the industry, you can see how these things would apply to you. Now, you might also want to consider being proactive. You know, think about where you're going to eat out. Think about the restaurants where you're going. If you've got an allergy to a certain food, don't go to a restaurant that focuses on that food. Recently, a woman went to a seafood restaurant. She has an allergy to seafood, and guess what happened? She had an allergic reaction. Well, duh. Why in the world, if you've got an allergy to seafood, would you go to a seafood restaurant? It just seems that we're so used to getting whatever we want wherever we go that we lose sight of our common sense. Listen, you can't always get what you want. But if you try some time, you just might find you get what you need. And next up is the news. But first, these important messages.
Hello, hi, I'm Sam Choi. Did you know we have a world-class culinary arts program right here in our own backyard? It's at the Culinary Institute of the Pacific at Kapilani, and it's got state-of-the-art facilities, hands-on instruction by top people in the field, workshop by visiting chefs, and lots of student-teacher interaction. Kapilani Culinary Arts Program, one of the world's best, right here at home. For more information, call 734-9484.
Basically, we take the fundamentals of cookery class. The students come straight from there. They come up to their intermediate cookery. So now everything they learn in the fundamentals of cookery, we go ahead and refine their skills here, and they get to practice a lot because we do production. You know, campus has 7,000 students on campus, and we need to feed a good portion of them here. We do about 3 or 4 entrees a day with a variety of starches, soups, short order cookery. We do a salad bar. We do it all here at the cafeteria.
So these guys see the same types of pressures that's out in the real world right here on campus?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Today we have 8 students in the cafeteria, and we have a few paid help, and basically we're feeding the cafeteria, the campus, with just a handful of students. So yeah, they're feeling the pressure.